So I was listening to this podcast earlier today, and I had some thoughts to share on this topic that they were getting on about. So basically, they were saying these guys were younger than me, and they're doing the kids these days don't yada 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 kind of thing, which is usually not a good scenario for good advice. But here I am doing the same thing. But this is just my opinion. Anyways, so they were saying basically that kids these days don't understand what albums were influential to certain artists. And basically, like, the hypothetical scenario that he was saying was like, you have a Bathory Yellow Goat in your collection, but you don't have Ride the Lightning. Where's your, like, how could you possibly call yourself a metalhead when you have put so much money into a copy of the most coveted black metal record there ever was and have no Metallica in your collection? This is a kind of gatekeeping, but it's not exactly gatekeeping. It's like someone saying that you have to know as much as the foundational music and creations that went into any genre that you care to enjoy. And I fundamentally disagree with that. You can get a lot of experience and understanding and contextual context out of knowing what albums were important at certain times and which artists were influenced by which bands, etc., etc., etc. There is a lot of value to be had in exploring those things and knowing all of those things. And now that you all and we all have the faculty of the internet to provide us with free access to every album that has ever existed, there has never been less of an excuse for you to explore those things. However, I believe the more you look into the history of those artists and genres and things, you're going to get diminishing returns after years and years and years of pillaging those things strictly for the credibility of knowing why those things were important. What you are going to get more value out of, and this is why I feel like I am still heavily invested in metal music, is pursuing what you like and listening to whatever you feel like looks interesting for any reason, and if you like it, great. Now, if someone else liked what you like in the past or currently, great, you have friends. But some people don't always identify with the same kind of albums that you're gonna like. Albums are gonna come along that are gonna resonate with you, and you aren't gonna know why. And that doesn't mean that they have to also have some historical significance by influencing this artist who does this thing, who did this. Like whatever you like. There's gonna come along so many records that puzzle you and challenge you and inspire you, and you don't need to try and figure out some way to configure that puzzle piece into the whole picture. You don't need to. Sometimes you can get information out of those experiences, but if you find an album that you love and you don't know why, who fucking cares? Love an album because you love it, and hold those albums and cherish them in your collection as who you are. That's kind of where I got to where I am today. So that's just my opinion. That's my soapbox. Yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also check out Funeral Tragedies.